Welcome everyone to this week's Mod Showcase. Happy Patch Day, and I hope everyone are enjoying all of the tweaks and changes that are implemented for this 6th patch. Before we start, thank you for supporting the modders and all of the amazing projects they made. So for this week's best mods, we have the ultimate Deathknight armor and weapons, reworked to the most popular class in the game, and so much more. Without further ado, these are Baldur's Gate 3's weekly mods, episode 14. Enjoy! First up is a rework of the most popular class in the game, which is our Holy Warrior of the Light, the Paladin. Introducing the Lightbringer mod. Have you ever wanted your Paladin and make it feel more Paladin-y? I don't know if that's a thing. What I mean is that the Paladin that uses auras and buffs to itself and its party members to effectively obliterate its enemies. Something akin of like the Diablo Paladin. Want to finally have a reason to use your other elemental smites in your arsenal? This mod got you covered. It is a comprehensive revision of the Paladin class that is complete with new spells and gameplay. It focuses on reworks on effectivity of the Paladin class, improving some features and gameplay dynamics while preserving the original design of this majestic warrior. We have some new mechanics and spells, such as the introduction of the new Blessed Hammer. That is a throwable holy hammer which deals 2d6 radiant damage and creates a blessed ground AoE for 3 turns. Enemies on the surface will take continuous 2d6 damage per turn and will also be affected by the difficulty terrain and decreases their movements by half. While for the allies, it will give them the death ward and also heal them for 2d6 each turn. Magic weapon no longer requires concentration. A new 3rd tier spell called Imbune Weapon that works like the draconic elemental weapon from the Drake Throat Glaive, which imbues a weapon with elemental damage while providing elemental effects, such as the Encrusted with Frost if you imbue your weapon with ice, 2 stacks of Radiating Orb if you imbue it with radiant, lightning charges for lightning weapons, etc. We also have reworks for each subclass, giving them more class identity and uses. Oath of Devotion subclass removed the turn holy. Instead, we introduced the Sacred Weapon that deals charisma modifier to attack rolls and has a chance to turn undead. Holy Rebuke is now a bonus action in last 10 turns, while Oath of the Ancients removes the turn the Faithless. It now has the Nature's Wrath that binds and damages your targets by 1d6 piercing damage up to 3 enemies. And for the Oath of Vengeance, Inquisitor's Might is now removed and was replaced by Vow of Enmity that gains radiant damage half your current level when you attack your targets, etc. Finally, the best thing the mod can offer are the revised smites, which are now called Judgments. These are now bonus action spells that empowers your status and elemental damage based on what you need, such as the Wrathful Judgment now adds Frighten to your following smites, Railing Smite on your following next smite. You will be inspiring your allies over a 3-meter AoE and heals them. Challenging Judgment can compel your enemies to focus on you on your next smites, etc. I really love the changes for the smites because of the cool aura and the smite effects. All changes are stated in the mod overview if you want to know more. I highly recommend checking this out if you love playing the Paladin. Speaking of a great recommendation is our UI mod of the week, which is the Better Tooltips mod. This is another essential in your load order together with the improved World Tooltip mod that I covered before. This mod adds information to your tooltips while also improving the readability of flavor text for your items in inventory. All I can say that it is a better version of the UI inventory mod that focuses more on the tooltips instead of the icons. The mod added some categories and item functions to your inventory items, like adding the vanity indicators for your cosmetic items such as camp clothing. Potions now has clear tooltips so you won't accidentally sell them like me. Scrolls now indicate clearly the level and the ability type while also highlighting if it requires concentration. It also changes weapon proficiency icons, which is a nice touch. What I appreciate the most is that we can now clearly see the approval rating of your companions without going to the third tab of your character sheet. You don't need to individually switch to that tab to check anymore. They also added 19 new titles for your gears, consumables, melee and ranged weapons, documents, notes, throwables, and so much more. And again, another banger of a UI mod as always. Third is this really popular race mod, which introduces the fairy race to Baldur's Gate 3. These are the fairies that lives in the Fey Wilds, along with all spirit creatures. They mostly have characteristics of a small pixie like Dolly 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 that we found inside the Moon Lantern in Act 2. The most obvious features which you can tell is the insect-like wings on their backs, and each has its own characteristics. Now you can finally play them in Baldur's Gate 3 with the help of the Flutter and Whimsy mod. This mod adds the whimsical and sparkly Fey Wilds natives. The mod comes with its own face assets, 32 additional horns and horn tips, 12 eye color variation, and 4 customizable wings. Race features are called Fairy Magic that gives you a cantrip called Druid Craft, which expands into usable spells like Bloom that sprouts a patch of flora around 2 meters, granting you 3 hit points and providing disadvantage to your enemies. The Glitter spell works like a minor illusion, light or snuff, that ignites light sources or snuff them out. What really impressed me is the Flutter or the Fly passive feature that works flawlessly. It is your built-in fly spell per long rest, which in its own has its winds effect and flutter animation. You can use Tinify to reduce your size while increasing your AC and have unlimited flight. Now it's time for a mod that will fulfill that Deathknight magic aesthetic that you've been looking for. Introducing the Death Song set, which is our weapon and armor mod of the week. This mod is the ultimate necrotic paladin necromancer theme that uses the mix of melee and cantrips to destroy its enemies. The mod also adds the sense of progression in your gear that provides you the feeling of you getting stronger whenever you slay your enemies and bosses. This is because most of the gear from the Death Song mod is obtainable through various locations, and each are upgradable with the use of different materials. You will most likely come across these items naturally through the game or craft them using special items like the Prism of Negative Energy that is found in the Mage Tower Undercroft. What's really cool is that you can finally have uses of your resources that you find throughout your journey, like the gold ingots, extra mithril ores, elixirs, and even your soul coin can be used as upgrade material. These objects will guarantee you become stronger. It also adds new coins, which is the death coins that are dropped by bosses and hard enemies that is essential to improving your gear further. You'll also be able to use Ketheric Storm set for the ultimate Deathknight look with the rework and improves the effects of each piece of gear. All of the items are also upgradable. My only concern for the mod is that all of the gears looks the same across all rarity, but if you don't mind any of that, this mod is a great one to have. All recipes for upgrades are in the mod page for your reference. Enjoy. Fifth is a mod for you Final Fantasy fans out there. Have you ever wanted to look like your favorite Final Fantasy character in Baldur's Gate 3? Now you can with the Ren's Fantasia Hairs mod. The mod also adds 10 new hairstyles for your Type 1 and 2 bodies. Based on various Final Fantasy titles, we have Noctis, Rivas, Aerith, Sephiroth, Cloud, and Tifa. The author also added Rufus and Luna as an update. It also supports custom races like the Aasimar if that's your thing. Just a warning for you guys using the hair mod, all of the assets are not auto-snapping and are manually added to the head models, so most of it may look off on some head types and may also look like some hair are missing. I especially noticed it on the Tifa hair. It looks floaty, she looks almost bald with the lacking of the hair in her hairline. But aside from that, most of the hair look impressive, especially the Cloud one, which is my favorite. Finally, our audio mod of the week. which is the Peter Griffin narrator mod. Ever wondered how Peter Griffin from Family Guy sound as your narrator in Baldur's Gate 3? That is exactly what this mod does. This makes the total narration of your game up to Peter.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation. You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you. The splendid city of Atkatla hums beyond the portal. Neverwinter, jewel of the North. Waterdeep, the crown of the North. Salty air, the patter of feet. Baldur's Gate lies beyond.
Peter seems to be really serious in his dialogue and would love to make him a little bit goofy and lighthearted just to make it much more interesting. Aside from that, enjoy hearing Peter throughout your playthrough. Alright guys, thank you for watching the mod showcase. What do you guys think about the mods for this week, or are you guys already using these mods on your playthrough? Would love to know your answers as well as your questions or clarifications in a comment down below. Shoutouts for all the people who subscribe and keep supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys for all the amazing support. And for all the people who haven't subscribed yet, I hope I earn your subscriptions in the future. But if I earn it today, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. If you want to support me directly, please consider joining our D20 Rollers Club by hitting the join button. Join our Discord with the guys, and I also have Patreon if you want to go that route. Again, on behalf of the modding community, thank you guys for supporting the amazing talent. Finally, that's it for me. Hope to see you soon on the next Master Box Show. Peace out. Bye guys.